Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to explore a fascinating utopian thought experiment that, let's be honest, we've all probably wondered about at some point. I mean, if you've ever looked at your bills and thought, why can't the government just print more money and give it to us? Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why that incredibly tempting idea is actually a massive illusion, and we'll see how true wealth is really generated.
Just imagine it. Close your eyes for a second and picture waking up tomorrow morning, checking your banking app, and seeing a sudden massive deposit. The Reserve Bank of India, the folks with the actual printing presses, just hit the ultimate giveaway button. They decided to transfer 10 lakh rupees directly into the bank account of every single Indian citizen. Boom! Instant wealth for everyone.
For a brief, glorious moment, it feels like the ultimate dream has just come true, right? Instantly, we're thinking, no more poverty, no more stressing out over those monthly EMI payments for your car or your house, no more job stress because, hey, you finally have a huge financial cushion. It sounds absolutely perfect. But here is the hard reality check. If this actually happened, it wouldn't create some economic paradise. In fact, it would completely collapse the Indian economy within a single year. To understand exactly why, we need to separate a major misconception.
Section 1. The Mango Island Experiment.
So, to break down exactly why this total economic collapse would happen, let's look at a simpler microeconomy. We really need to focus on the crucial difference between printed money and actual tangible wealth. Let's imagine a place called Mango Island. Imagine just 10 people live here. In the before scenario, the entire island has a total of 100 mangoes to eat and a total money supply of 1,000 rupees. If you do the simple math there, the price of a single mango is roughly 10 rupees. But then, the king of the island decides he wants everyone to be richer, so he fires up the printing press, prints an additional 9,000 rupees, and just hands it out. Now look at the after scenario. The total money in the market is now 10,000 rupees. Everyone feels incredibly rich, but notice the physical goods here. The number of mangoes hasn't changed at all. There are still only 100 mangoes on the entire island.
Now, because everyone suddenly has 10 times the amount of cash in their pockets, they all rush out to buy the mangoes. But you can't magically print more fruit. So the sellers look around and realize, wait a minute, I can charge way more for the exact same item. Because the money supply increased 10 times over, but the goods stayed exactly the same, the price of a single mango absolutely skyrockets from 10 rupees all the way up to 100 rupees.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that the money multiplied, not the actual value, not the food, and not the resources. The mangoes didn't multiply, only the paper did. And this perfectly establishes what inflation truly is. It's exactly this situation. When the amount of money in a system increases without any corresponding increase in actual goods or services, the inevitable, unavoidable result is that prices just rise to absorb all that extra cash.
Section 2. India's Inflation Reality Check. Okay, let's see how this builds when we apply our tiny Mango Island logic to India's massive population of 1.4 billion people. If the RBI actually dropped 10 lakh rupees into everyone's accounts, an unprecedented massive spending spree begins instantly. Just think about what you would do. Suddenly, everyone wants to upgrade their life. People are rushing out to buy houses, brand new cars, the latest mobile phones, gold, you name it. But here's the massive catch. Factories, builders, and service providers literally cannot manufacture physical products fast enough to keep up with this sudden tidal wave of cash.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core issue we're talking about. There is a massive mismatch here. Consumer demand has absolutely skyrocketed because everyone is suddenly flush with cash. But the supply, the actual physical houses, cars, and phones available in the country, remains completely flat. You see, you can print money overnight for sure, but there's absolutely no way you can build 1 million new apartment buildings or manufacture 1 million new cars overnight.
So the result of this skyrocketing demand completely overpowering flat supply is an inevitable explosive surge in prices. A modest house that might cost 20 lakh rupees today, well, if everyone suddenly has an extra 10 lakh burning a hole in their pocket, the seller is going to instantly raise the price. That exact same house tomorrow could jump to 80 lakh or even 1 crore rupees. So while you might have more zeros sitting in your bank account, your actual purchasing power completely plummets. Everyday items become totally unaffordable because the price tags just adjust right up to that new inflated money supply.
Section 3. History's trillion-dollar mistakes. Now, this isn't just some fun, theoretical thought experiment. This is a devastating mistake that real governments and real countries have actually made with totally catastrophic consequences for their citizens. Take a close look at that number. Seriously, count the zeros. That is a $100 trillion note. In Zimbabwe, the government tried to solve its economic problems by simply printing more and more currency. They printed so much, so fast, that the money lost literally all its meaning. The inflation became so severe they had to issue a $100 trillion bill just so people could carry enough physical cash for basic everyday transactions.
This is what economists call the hyperinflation trap. Citizens in countries like Zimbabwe, and similarly in Venezuela, found themselves literally carrying massive, heavy bundles of physical cash in backpacks or wheelbarrows just to buy a single loaf of bread. It's crazy. An abundance of printed money, when there are no actual goods on the shelves to buy, renders the currency practically worthless. It doesn't make people rich, it completely destroys livelihoods, wipes out life savings, and collapses the entire economic system.
Section 4. Real wealth versus printed money.
So if printing money is so incredibly dangerous, how do we actually get richer? And what does a central bank like the Reserve Bank of India actually do to prevent this kind of disaster while still managing our money? Well, it's important to understand that the RBI definitely does print money, but they do it in a strictly controlled amount. They're constantly monitoring the economy's growth, current market demand, inflation rates, and broader market conditions. The goal of the RBI isn't just to hand out cash to make people feel rich. Their true goal is to carefully manage the money supply so the economy runs smoothly, businesses can operate, and most importantly, so that the currency maintains its value over time. They're basically balancing the scale between the money in circulation and the actual goods being produced.
So, the absolute most important takeaway from this explainer is this. Paper money is not wealth. What actually creates true wealth is production. It's real businesses providing real services. It's human skills and labor. It's technological advancements. True wealth is real value creation. An economy grows and citizens become wealthier only when a country produces more goods, invents better technology, and builds valuable skills. A nation's wealth comes from its tangible output and capabilities, not from its printing presses.
If simply printing money made people rich, no country in the world would ever be poor. It's a remarkably simple truth, but one that permanently shifts how you view economics. The next time someone asks why the government can't just print more cash, well, you'll know exactly why. You'll remember Mango Island, the hyperinflation trap, and the true meaning of value. So, if the printing press can't save us, here is the real question you have to ask yourself. What tangible value and skills will you produce today to actually increase the world's wealth?